How much of a coaching advantage do you think Rick Carlisle was compared to Tom Thibodeau in this series?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Rick Carlisle has the advantage in most series. I think that if you look back at the regular season and when they're playing like 2-game mini-series, that coaching staff is very good at game-to-game adjustments. I think the one thing that I would say with regards to Thibodeau, just as my outside perspective, I think that there's like 3 hallmarks that, like, from watching the Pacers all year, are buttons that you definitely want to press to try to limit them. And I don't think that it necessarily should have taken until game 5 to get there. He's like, I remember talking to Benji. He was like, what would you do against Tyrese? I'm like, it's got to be full court pressure. It's got to be face guarding from the minute he gets the ball. And I don't know how much of that's Thibodeau or how much that is the actual individual players just not being very good at what they're being asked to execute, because the ball pressure at times was there. And at other times it was pressure, I suppose. But I thought that they might go back to what they found in the series a year ago with Deuce McBride and be doing it with him a little bit more, because sometimes Tyrese is a big guard, but he likes to gather the ball low. And while he has added more variety to his gathers, his go-to is still to play lower than his defender rather than bigger, which makes Deuce McBride a little bit better matchup for him. And then also, I was just surprised that they never tried Deuce McBride in the starting lineup to begin with, especially given that the success that the Cat only lineups were having against the Indiana Pacers and how hard it was for them to be guarding Cat as a driver. It seems like you'd want to replicate with the starting lineup as much as you could. And I understood playing double big. I understood removing Josh Hart from the starting lineup, especially if you can have Josh Hart pushing the ball more. But Deuce McBride would have given that a different 5-out lineup alignment on both ends of the floor that I think would have probably benefited the Knicks a little bit more than what they saw. And then the third thing that I would kind of say is they needed to be able to play more different types of coverages. And while they certainly were a team that mixed in more switching against Boston and Indiana, they didn't look like they were a team that was very used or accustomed to doing that. A lot of times you don't want the thing that you're doing to be the first time that you're doing it in the playoffs. And the Knicks switched less than every other team during the regular season. They had less variety to their pick and roll coverages than most teams in the NBA. So I didn't feel like they were quite ready to be able to, like, hey, let's go try this and actually do it at a high level.